All right, so today is the 1st of September, September 1, 2025. August is gone. Welcome, September. Now, the year rather, is gradually running to an end. We started the Ember month today. Like I always say it at the beginning or rather at the end of the month, always appraise yourself how you have fared. I remember I was asking somebody last week if she's really making money, with trading. I just wanted to know. And she said, wow, that she's making money, that she withdraws virtually every week. And those are the kind of testimonials I want to hear. Those are the kind of testimonials I want to hear. So if you're on the platform, you need to check yourself. Are you making money? If you're making money, are you also withdrawing? You know, just those are personal questions you should ask yourself. I mean, what's the essence of all this so that we can all make money and just not just make money but get educated by PU Prime and make money on the PU Prime platform. All right, so let's start. So today, Monday, there's no fundamental event at all. Usually, for those who are new to the platform, we'll start with fundamental analysis. We check for upcoming news events. Then from there, we go to the charts to look at the technicals. Fundamentally, there's no news today. We have bank holiday from Canada and another bank holiday from United States. So no event at all fundamentally today. So the market is just purely technical. And when it's like this, there are two sides to the coin rather. One, the market may have a free flow movement without any fundamental hindrance. Or on the other hand, we may have a range in the market. So on a day like this, it's good to trade with a lot of caution. It could have been better altogether if there is no holiday, the market, there's no news, the market is free to. But when there's a bank holiday, this one will specifically affect more of the Canadian dollar and the United States dollar. They will be affected by this activity today. So trades today generally trade with a lot of caution. Now, tomorrow, Tuesday, I will just focus on the main events because of time. There will be ISM manufacturing PMI and ISM manufacturing prices by 3 p.m. Those will be the two tradable fundamental events tomorrow. So you can just target that time if you want to trade the news, 3 p.m. tomorrow. And on Wednesday, there will be GDP quarterly from Australia by 2:30 a.m. Nigerian time. So 2:30 a.m. I'd likely be sleeping. If you're sleeping, maybe you wake up quite early, or maybe you want to sleep late. The choice is yours if you want to trade this event. But then it's a tradable one from Australia by 2:30 a.m. Wednesday morning Nigerian time, or night time as you want to call it. And later on Wednesday by 3 p.m. the other tradable event will be Jolt job opening by 3 p.m. on Wednesday. And on Thursday, the tradable event on Thursday, 7:30 a.m. there'll be CPI monthly from Switzerland. That will take place 7:30 a.m. in the morning. This is going to be tradable. I wouldn't want you to miss it. Thursday CPI 7:30 a.m. And on Thursday also, there will be ADP non-farm employment change by 1:15 p.m. That also will be tradable. And 1:30 p.m. there'll be unemployment claims. That equally will be tradable. And 3 p.m. on Thursday again, I'll be ISM services PMI. So you can see that Thursday is loaded with a lot of tradable fundamental events. So please watch out for all this and plan to be on board to trade, as in to be on the online rather to trade it. We're not going to trade all these ones live. If it comes up during the course of analysis session, either in the morning or afternoon, we may guide you. But then the biggest one is the one on Friday, and that is going to be the NFP. This one we're trading it live. We've been trading this live on PU Prime now for quite some time, and overall our result has been good. I used to say it, we've had a success rate of over 80% trading NFP and CPI. We trade these events once in a month each, and it's always been fantastic. Well, yeah, nobody can lay claim to 100%, but then at least as far as this industry is concerned, but we've had over 80% win rate, trading both the NFP and the CPI. Now, the next one is going to come up this Friday. Friday, that will be the 5th of September. Time will be 1:30 p.m. 1:30 p.m. There will be the average hourly earning, non-farm employment change, and unemployment rate. Now, that same day, there'll be employment change and unemployment rate from Canada, but our focus is not going to be the Canadian dollar. Our focus is going to be the United States dollar. And I want you to trade live with us that day. So what does it require? Very simple requirement. If you're there this morning, you don't have an account with PU Prime, you can reach out to me. I can get you registered, get you verified, and prepare you for that event. Secondly, is that you need to have funds in your account to trade. It's a live trading event. This one is not a trade. If you want to trade NFP on demo, you are leaving money on the table. Go and fund your accounts. I mean, put something reasonable. Put money into your account and trade live. Every time we trade live, this kind of events, and it goes well according to plan, people make money. And this Friday is not going to be an exception. So I want to encourage you now, make sure you have trading capital, or better still, professional equity in your trading account, so that you will not just be on the fence while others are making money on Friday. All right, so that's it on the fundamentals. Like I said, for those joining us, we don't have any news for today. So we just go straight now to the chart. We'll go to the chart. Now, on the chart, we'll start with the dollar index, the USDX. Now, the USDX gives us insight into what's going to happen to the dollar, and once we can get clarity on the dollar index, I mean, it's a lot easier to know the outlook for the major currency pairs. The major currency pairs are those currency pairs that the major currencies that contains the dollar. Those are called the major currency pairs. Now, this is the dollar index on the daily time frame, and price currently is testing a support level on the daily time frame. This is a support, and price is very, very close, just on 1 or 2 pips away from touching the trend line again the third time. Now, when you have this kind of setup, and most likely almost having the equal distance from each other, it's technically forming what we can call a triple bottom pattern. Then definitely we're going to have price move into the bullish direction. Price is very, very likely to move into the bullish direction. And so that gives us a bullish outlook on the dollar for, let me say, for some of the days in the week, because you never can tell whether this will span the entire week. Is the daily time frame. If it's a weekly time frame, yes, I'll tell you for the week. But if it's for the daily time frame, maybe some days, before we can have a trend move in another direction. But at least between today, tomorrow, Wednesday, this is my view about the dollar. We are bullish on the dollar. Let's take it to a lower time frame, like 1 hour, and see. Okay, it's very, very close. It's very, very close to the support level over there. So oh, okay, I think it's already, if you want to check using the other low, yeah, it's already touched. We can see a touch there. Okay, I think it's a zone. Yeah, it's better off as a zone, not just a whole number. All right. So let's take it back. Okay, so it's just as a zone is already at the support zone on the 1 hour time frame. So it may still, it's a 50-50. It doesn't matter whether it extends there or not. It's already touching the support zone. We expect, a movement into the upside direction. We expect a movement to the upside direction. Just a second. Okay, so we may have a trend line moving downwards, and second one right here giving us a falling wedge pattern, which is another confirmation that we're expecting, a movement to the upside direction. So technically, we are bullish on the dollar index. We are bullish on the dollar index. So with that outlook, we can go straight with confidence and check the other major currency pairs. And I'll be looking this morning at the AUD USD, the USD CAD, and gold. Those are the three currency pairs. AUD, USD CAD. Gold is a commodity, or at least those are the two major currency pairs I'll be looking at before checking other, financial assets, which will include gold, BTC, and DJ30. So and also okay, yeah, I mentioned USD card. So let's go. Let's check both the AUD USD and the USD card. Now, what I'm giving this morning is the instruments that have a high probability of going in this direction of the dollar index. Other ones may go there, but currently at the moment they are not yet a high probability setup. So I only focus on the ones that have a higher percentage of, a higher probability of going in the direction that we're looking at. All right, so this is the AUD USD on the daily time frame. Now, firstly, on the daily time frame, we can see that price is trading currently at a resistance level. Then secondly, we can see there is a descending trend line which I just drew right now, where price is making a series of lower highs, lower high, and we have a third lower high here. Now this is going to be in two parts. Price is already at the resistance, so we can expect a reversal. Clear. Now, but it's also possible that price may want to trend up a little to form a confluence here where the trend line, where the descending trend line and the resistance meets. If that happens, that becomes a confluence and it's another indication of price dropping down. So either way you want to look at it, we have a bearish outlook on the AUD USD. If you flip down to 1 hour, this is what it's going to look like. Price may still go up a little to hit. This is the resistance from daily. This is the trend line. So if it projects upwards, it's going to hit one of those two levels, and from there ultimately we still expect a bearish movement downwards. So with that being said, we can draw our trend line. It's not looking cool this way, so let's take it from here. All right, so this is what we have. Price may push up to hit this level, possibly retrace and hit the second. That second level is not really compulsory. That trend line is not compulsory, but if it happens, it makes it clearer that we're going to have a drop downwards. So I think this will even be clearer if we take it. Let's check it out on a 15 minutes. Yes. All right, so that's it. We have price trading around a resistance level on the daily time frame, and upwards also there is still a trend line from the daily. So if it hits both of them or one of them, then we will have price reverse downwards. So we are bearish on the AUD USD. So what is the profit potential of this setup if it works out just like we're looking at it? So I'll make my upper uh my recent high to be the resistance on the daily. That trend line is a 50-50. It may get there or not. It's not really mandatory. It gets there. So we're looking at price moving in the average of uh, just a second. Okay, I've taken this. Price is expected to move. Now, if this Fibonacci 23.6, which is coinciding with this recent low, if it forms like the entry, then we're looking at possibility of price moving about 7 pips to Fibonacci at 8.2. We'll target Fibonacci 50 as is 1.8. Fibonacci to be 14 pips, and Fibonacci still 1.8 will be around 20 pips. So that's not too bad if it goes that way. 20 pips, 14 pips, 20 pips, that's about 34 pips for day trading. It's not really a bad one, though it's not really going to be volatile. And I already mentioned that earlier. Today is a quiet day. There is no fundamental event at all. But then watch this closely. We're expecting a bearish movement on the AUD USD in the course of today. And that's it on that. The next one will be the USD card. Now, The dollar is bullish from our analysis. We've seen that due to that, bullish outlook on the dollar, we're expecting, a bearish movement on AUD USD. And that means that technically we'll be looking at a bullish movement on the USD card. So USD card is right here on the daily time frame, you know, currently trading at a support level. So technically we expect a movement to the upside or to the bullish direction. So we'll take it straight to 1 hour without wasting time. We have a trend line right there. We have a second one at the back to give us a falling wedge or a channel outlook. And we're expecting a breakout upwards. Now, price is testing the trend line already, but RSI, okay, RSI is at 50. Okay, for us to make entry, we want to see a new candle breakout, above the trend line with RSI clearly above 50. So watch that closely. Maybe in the next couple of hours, if there is sufficient volatility to push price, into that direction, then if a new candle can come out and close outside of the trend line, then that will be uh, our potential entry. Now, this setup potentially can give between, let's just take some pips up here randomly from the current price level, some 5 pips, okay, 7 pips, not too bad. To Fibonacci 50 can give as much as about 39, or let's say roughly 40 pips, and to Fibonacci 1.8 can give as much as 56 pips. So watch out closely for this USD card. It's going to move more than the AUD USD. I mean, you can take either of them depending on the one that breaks out first, but then this one can give as much as 50 and about 64 pips thereabout. So we're bullish on the USD card. So the next one we'll look at is gold. I said we're going to look at gold. We'll look at BTC, and we'll look at DJ30. Those are the other instruments. We've checked the currency pairs that are, looking with having a high probability. Next is gold. Now, gold is a commodity, it's a metal. Now, gold on the daily time frame. On the daily time frame, price is approaching. Now you can see clearly there is the tip of this resistance up, as in the shadow up there, is to form a resistance level, and price is approaching that resistance. It's getting close to it. So when price hits that resistance, we expect some decline in the value of gold. This is not clear on the lower time frame. Let's go to, as in on 1 hour, let's go to a lower time frame like 15 minutes. So price may retrace, then hit the resistance and possibly break out downwards. And it's also possible, I just saw that now, that it may form maybe a head and a shoulder, possibly, and drop with that. If it happens that way, then this will be the neckline region from where we may experience the bearish movement. So either way, like I always say, don't get on go with patterns. If it doesn't work out, what matters is direction. The whole goal is the direction, not necessarily the pattern. But this might help us to be able to interpret what's happening in the market. And if at all it breaks out in the bearish direction, price will likely target this previous resistance. I'm not getting the trend line correctly, but we may see price break out to target that previous resistance turn support. But either way it happens, we have a bearish outlook on gold. We're bearish on gold for today. Now the next one will be BTC USD. BTC USD. Now for BTC USD, I remember telling us last week that I expected price to decline downwards, especially after it broke out. This is a daily time frame. When it broke out from below this support, we actually were looking at possibly maybe a head and shoulder drop or a drop outrightly. So it dropped outrightly. So that's okay. Now, currently, BTC is trading around a support level on the daily time frame. So we expect price to move upwards. Now that movement upwards could be a short-term movement, but technically that is what I'm seeing as we speak. And if you take it down to the 1 hour time frame, you can see it clearly that you can see that the market is getting poised for a movement in the bullish direction. So we have a support on the 1 hour time frame. And it's also looking like a double bottom pattern, which might trigger to the upside. Now, if it works out this way, then this region here becomes the neckline. So if price is able to break out above the neckline, then we'll see a very good bullish movement on BTC USD, possibly in the course of today. But like I said, that could be the short-term movement on BTC. I'll take it back to the chart. Now, on the other hand, if that level price doesn't break out upwards, we may also see a further bearish continuation downwards, which may move more than the bullish, setup that we're seeing on the 1 hour time frame. Because the point that price is now is a critical point, it's actually a previous resistance turn support, which can lead to that bullish movement. But if price, for one reason or the other, breaks this level, it will move massively downward. So let's just look more at the short-term direction for now, which is bullish. But like I said, in case price breaks this resistance turn support, we will see a much more bearish movement on BTC USD. All right, so let's move on from there. And finally, we'll check the DJ30. This is the DJ30 on the daily time frame. Price is trading at a resistance level. Now, the other side is that price has been ranging around this level for a while. We see more of a range. So we can go to a lower time frame. We have what looks like a triangle pattern there. Recently, we've had a rejection candle here. So all this is pointing to potentially a bearish movement, a bearish breakout on this instrument. So if you're there, you're trading DJ30, we are anticipating a bearish breakout in the course of today. All right, so that'll be all from my end this morning. I'll do a recap of all the instruments I've analyzed. For the benefit of those who joined us late, we have analyzed about 6 instruments this morning. Dollar index, I said it, we are bullish on the dollar index, and as such, we are bullish on the USD card, but then we are bearish on the AUD USD. For gold, let me confirm what I mentioned on gold. For gold, we're bearish. We're bearish on the AUD USD. We're bearish on gold. We're bullish on the short term on BTC USD. And we're bearish on the DJ30. All right, so that'll be all from my end this morning. Let's take note of all these instruments that has been mentioned. But then if you still have a question, you want a specific analysis on another instrument, the floor is open. Just go ahead and type it in the comment section and I will gladly respond to you. Now, Mr. Clement Ogushola, good morning, sir. Please analyze gold and BTC. I've already done that, sir. Maureen is asking me to check GBP, JPY. Sheu, I already analyzed USD card. We're bullish on USD card, Mr. Sheu, sir. So I'll look at the GBP, JPY now. Now, I remember giving us a symmetrical triangle setup on GBP, JPY last week. That was the analysis for GBP, JPY for last week. And price did, I remember using the recent low as the take profit, the TP1. The second low as the TP2. Now you can see that price did break out to touch those two levels before reversing backwards, yeah, reversing to the bullish direction. So that analysis worked out just exactly as analyzed. Though I must confess, this kind of setup can require some patience, especially when volatility is not, so strong in the market like it happened in the last couple of weeks. Volatility has been low generally in the last couple of weeks. So what's the view of GBP JPY this week? I still can see a trend line. All right, so this is GBP JPY on the daily time frame. We can see here we have a support zone, and the Friday candle closed as a rejection candle, and that is what has been responsible for the current bullish movement we've seen on the GBP JPY. So let's take it down to a lower time frame like 4 hour, then 1 hour. On the 4 hour, we can see that price has broken out above the upper trend line. And let's take it down to 1 hour. 1 hour is not giving much clarity, but this is what I would say. If you have to trade this, take it more like a swing trade. Because we still have a resistance zone up here, even on the 4 hour time frame. If a new candle appears above this resistance, yes, price will move higher and target the two recent highs again, at a potential of about 30 and about 90 pips thereabout. That's if a new candle appears above this resistance zone. Otherwise, if price cannot break above that resistance level, we may have a retest and a reversal. So at the point where GPGPY is, it can either break out upwards or break out downwards. It all depends on the market. And don't forget today, volatility may be low because there's no news. Now, if it's going to break out downwards, which is possible, we can capture that using the 15 minutes time frame, because currently it's looking like we're having what is looking like a shoulder, a head, possibly a second shoulder, and a movement downward. So price can go in either direction. If it breaks out above the resistance zone, it will be a buy. If it breaks out below the current lower trend line, it will be a sell. So watch out for wherever the breakout happens on the GBP JPY. If it breaks out below here, it will be a sell where it will target the support level. But if it breaks out above the resistance zone, it will be a buy. So the person asking about GBP JPY, please take note of that. Now the question is, can this happen where price could face either direction? Of course, I mean, we'll follow the market. We don't decide on our own what we want to do. And the technical analysis, trade what you see. A breakout upward is a buy, a breakout downward is a sell. So just take note of that. We've analyzed the okay. I spoke to Mr. Shehu. We've done USD card. All right. I think that's all. I've attended to two questions that I have there. For those who are just joining us, don't forget, I say I'm saying it once again. This Friday, we're going to be trading NFP live. And the best way to take advantage of the opportunity is to have a funded account with PU Prime. So if you're on board this money, you don't have an account at all, reach out to me in my you can private chat me or WhatsApp. I send the link for this money analysis. So chat that number. I'll guide you through how to register and be a client to PU Prime. And secondly, you need to verify your account with two documents. That's if you have not opened an account. If you're just opening a fresh account, you need to verify your account with two documents, your government issued ID and your proof of residence. We can guide you on how to do all this. Then thirdly, is just to go ahead and fund your account. Fourthly, be available online on Friday when we want to trade NFP live. We're kicking off by 1:15 p.m. No African time. The news will be released exactly 1:30. So what do we do between 1:15 and 1:30? By 1:15, we'll start by analyzing the market. See, we'll always give you the reasons why we're taking a trade, whether we're buying or selling. We'll give you our analysis where we expect the market to go. Then secondly, by around 1:20 p.m., we'll just post the signal, the exact entry, take profit, stop loss. We'll post everything for you to see. So we'll leave it on like that on the screen till around 1:27 thereabout before we'll go back to the chat, and by 1:30 the data will be released. So we'd like to see you. Definitely analysis continues all week long. I mean, there's still afternoon analysis today, but I'm just trying to notify you for the NFP on Friday. Can you check BTC and gold on 15 minutes time frame? I already analyzed these two instruments, and let me just oblige you. Yes, now my analysis on BTC is based on 15 minutes time frame. It's still on 15 minutes. There's a resistance on the daily which I still expect price to possibly go up to it before we uh anticipate a drop. We could have looked at the possibility of a double top if the second eye is just very close to this one, but either ways the market wants to go. I'm just anticipating a reversal into the bearish direction on gold. And for BTC, I said it on the short term, I'm looking at a bullish movement. But if price, let me go back. This is BTC UST. We have a resistance turn support on the weekly, on the 15 minutes. This is a daily time frame. Okay, my chart is not loading. It's not loading 15 minutes. So let's see. This is a daily. Sorry, this is a 1 hour. Just give it some seconds. I said this on 1 hour. We're anticipating what is looking like a double bottom, which may trigger up if we're having a bullish breakout. Otherwise, if price breaks below this line, this support from daily, it will be a drop downwards. But let's look at the short term first, which is the bullish movement on BTC on 1 hour. Okay, this is the 15 minutes. We're not having, yeah, it's still similar to what we're seeing on the 1 hour. It's still similar, though bigger, but it's still similar. I'm still expecting a projection upwards, except price reverse from here and breaks below this level. Yes, if that happens, we're going to see a breakout downwards. So it can be dual direction. I hope I've answered the question, Mr. Adequate Shegun. All right, so that'll be all from our analysis this morning. Do trade safe and have a great week ahead. Bye bye.